have here? It was a little before 8, right?
Yes. So approximately 7:42 a.m., our officers, Chamblee police officers, conducted a traffic stop on a stolen vehicle in the parking lot behind me at the Walgreens. During the interaction, our officers engaged the subject and discharged his firearm, striking one person who was transported to Grady and is receiving treatment there. Um, the GBI has responded, is conducting the follow-up investigation, and we're holding the crime scene while we finish our investigative part right now.
How many officers were involved in the initial traffic stop?
I don't know how many officers were involved in the initial traffic stop, but we have confirmed that we have one officer that discharged his firearm during that interaction.
Is that his vehicle there that collided with the...
I'm not sure which vehicle the officer was driving that was involved in the shooting.
What about the crash? The two cars collided?
I'm sorry, can you say?
Can you talk about what brought about the crash, the two vehicles colliding?
I believe the subject is driving the vehicle that's not a police vehicle behind me, and it came to rest there. So a second police vehicle did go to the front of it and stop, but at that time the shooting had already happened, and that's just where our vehicle stopped in front of the victim or the shooter, the person who was shot's vehicle.
You said that the person was shot, I'm assuming once, you said shot. We saw several bullet casings on the ground. What happened there? Was there an exchange of gunfire?
I can't tell you if there was an exchange. There was more than one shot fired. As far as number of times the person shot, none of that has been determined by us here. We'd have to get that information from the hospital.
What is the condition of the person shot?
From what we've gathered preliminary, the person is stable at the hospital, but undergoing obviously medical procedures. So we don't have a update right now, other than he was stable when he left.
So it's a male?
There's a male.
Approximate age?
I don't have that information.
Was he the driver or passenger?
I'm not aware of that at this time.
Do you know of any other occupants, or it was just the one occupant?
We do have one other person that we have a witness that we are talking to, and that GBI will do an interview of as well, and that's currently ongoing at our police headquarters.
And that was someone in the vehicle?
I'm not sure if they were in the vehicle or at the scene, but there was definitely one eyewitness that's being interviewed in relation to this shooting.
Just to be clear, the officer fired their weapon.
The officer did fire their duty weapon, a Chamblee police officer.
And is it he, the
It is
police officer?
it's a male officer.
And how's he doing?
The officer is okay.
Was the officer hit? Did you say that? Was the officer hit by gunfire?
No, the officer is not injured.
Are they being placed on administrative leave at all?
Consistent with department policy, they will. The officer that was involved will be placed on administrative leave, pending, their well-being, and then of course the outcome of the GBI investigation.
So it's too early to tell in your mind if this was a justified shooting because you don't maybe have all the information?
There's still a lot to uncover with the investigation, so we don't have all those facts. But again, we hope to have more information later today. And again, the GBI will be the lead on the investigation, and we'll probably be able to provide additional updates to you.
It looked like an Arkansas plate. Is that correct?
I do believe that that's what's on the vehicle.
And it was confirmed stolen?
From the information I've got, we did confirm that it was stolen.
And that's the reason for the initial pullover?
Yes, our stop was based on a stolen vehicle.
We're noticing some clothes there, perhaps a duffel or something along those lines. Anything significant there? Any, looks like some bags? Was that drugs or anything?
The only thing that I can tell you is what you might see is once the shooting happened, the officers that were on the scene immediately rendered aid and pulled out first aid equipment and began to render aid to the person who was shot prior to the arrival of fire rescue.
The person who was shot, is that person from Georgia or are they from out of state?
I don't know that person's identity.
And so that may be the officer's belongings that are on the...
It could be. I don't know if it was something that came out of the car, but I do know that the officer did pull out first aid equipment and began to render aid immediately prior to, again, the arrival of fire rescue.
What is the age of the person who was shot?
I don't know that information, nor the identity of the person who was shot.
You don't recall a lot of officer-involved shootings in Chamblee. Is this your first as chief?
This is my first. I did, move up here from Miami, Florida in October. But again, it's come from 28 years of law enforcement, so this is not the first time being on the scene of a police-involved shooting.
I'm sure it was quite the call you got this morning. Was it?
Very startling during the holiday season, very tragic. Again, we feel for everybody that's involved, and hope that the best outcome that can come forward will come forward. But we are glad that our officers that are involved are okay, and they're out here doing that what they can to protect the community.